Hey guitar players. Today I wanted to share with you a technical etude that I've been using for the last few years to warm up and work on my technique that I think would be really helpful for you as well if you haven't heard of it yet. They're called the Diatonic Major and Minor Scales by Andres Segovia. Now, the title is a little bit plain, but the scales themselves, the fingerings involved, and the way that he presents the material is really helpful and I think will be really beneficial to you as a guitarist. Let's jump right in. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so below. Hit that subscribe button. Leave a like, leave a comment if you'd like to start a conversation. It all makes a huge difference on this channel and I really appreciate it. Back to the video. Andres Segovia was one of the great guitarists of the 20th century. He played a huge role in bringing the guitar from a folk instrument to a classical instrument with repertoire and a pedagogy. A lot of this he took on himself. He knew that in order for people to take the guitar seriously, which he believed the guitar was as capable as piano or violin as a concert instrument, he knew he would have to create a repertoire and a way to teach the instrument. So these scales came out of this endeavor to elevate the guitar to an instrument that's worthy of formal study. Segovia has a complicated legacy. He frowned upon flamenco guitarists and other guitarists and styles that didn't elevate the guitar in the way he thought it should be. So I recommend you check out more information on him and definitely listen to his beautiful recordings of Bach and Tárrega, all the greats. The goal with these Segovia scales isn't necessarily to learn the names of the notes within these scales or the pattern up and down in a position. It's to explore the position shifts that he writes out in the fingerings. Those create a really interesting way of going up and down the neck that mimic how you might actually do it in a piece or how a passage might require you to do it. So these Segovia scales are about looking at scales in a petri dish in this kind of controlled environment where we have these fingerings that are going to prepare us later for the real world of playing passages and scales as they exist in actual music. So let's dive in. We're going to start off with C major, the more simple of the two scales I'm going to share with you. It's going to start with the second finger on C, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3. So that's pretty common. And then we're going to shift with our first finger. So that's the crux of these scales, is that there's going to be shifts. So 1, 3, 1. So we want to get that shift to be invisible. We want it to sound like this. Okay? Which may come easily to you, but for me that was kind of a revelation to be able to do that, especially at faster tempos. Then we're going to go all the way up. So we're essentially connecting with and again, the whole point of this, it's not about the C major scale. It's about the tone. It's about connecting notes in a legato way or staccato if you choose to, but it's about tone. It's about time if you want to work with a metronome. I like to do these without a metronome sometimes because then I can really think about the overtones, the sound of the pick without a click. You know, the click can sometimes just, it's not a pretty sound. So if I'm not working on time specifically, I won't use it. And sometimes I'll add a rhythm like this. I'm alternate picking, by the way. And then sometimes I'll use that rhythm that I just did, like quarter and then eighths, so that it fits into a musical measure of 4/4. And then I'll move that quarter note around like this. See that? I'm just moving where the quarter note is in the measure. And I find that that helps me deal with making it more musical. And it affects kind of the way the scale feels under the hands and where the shift happens. Sometimes you have more or less time when that quarter note lands on the shift or not. I should also say that today I'm just going to be showing you C major and A minor, but he did write all 12 keys out, and they're all a little bit different, especially the minors. So the E major is different from the F major, which is different from the C major, etc., etc. So in my copy of this, which you can find this book online, I think I got it on Amazon or something, but I've highlighted all the different iterations. So like on the E major, it opens up for a lot more on the low E string, a lot longer than any of the other scales. So I love this also because it gets into the instrumentation and orchestration choices that you can make based on the key you're in. Because a lot of guitar pedagogy just teaches this pattern that's totally transposable. But realistically, when you're playing in the key of E, that's such a different experience than playing in the key of B flat or C or F or whatever. So I'm just showing you one key today, C major, A minor, which are the same key. But make sure to check out all 12 because they're all a little bit different. Let's move on to A minor now, which will be a bit more challenging. Now, in a classical music context, the A minor scale ascending is a melodic minor scale. So it has a raised sixth and a raised seventh. And then descending, it's natural minor. So ascending, it'll have an F sharp and a G sharp. And then descending, it'll be... Now there's historical reasons for this that have to do with vocal music and leading tones. But for simplicity's sake, the reason we have these raised sixths and sevenths is to go up more intuitively and more in a more friendly way to the ear up to the tonic. Because it's very similar to in major where our ear is being led up to tonic. But when we're descending, it's less of a consideration because it's easier to hear descending whole steps because it's just like the C major scale. So they're different going up and down, as you will see here. So the fingering that Andre Segovia suggests is 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 4. And then he goes up the scale like this. This one's going to be 3 octaves. So 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 1, 1, 1, and then shift up. And he goes up. One, 3, 4, 1, 3, shift with 1, 3, 4. So without a cutaway, it's getting hard for me to do it, but I like pretending like I'm in thumb position on the bass or something. So that's the descending part. So 4, 3, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1. 3, 1, 3, 1. 4, 4, 3, 1. So this one's kind of a doozy. I'll play it slow for you. And now I'm going to do it with that same thing that I did with C major where I add a quarter note. Oh, I messed that up. Ah. I'll move the quarter note. So that's A minor. It's a bit trickier, but man, it gets stuff feeling so good when you can do it. And it's just an excellent warm-up, and I never tire. I never tire of that. It gets you out of these kind of day one shapes for scales and gets you thinking more like Hope that was helpful. Let me know if it was. If you've dealt with these scales before, let me know how you use them. Let's start a conversation. Drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you. See you next time.